going on, everybody? It is John from Pistons Territory back at you with another video, and the NBA Draft Lottery is almost upon us, so I want to talk about some Detroit Pistons Draft Lottery scenarios. I got to prepare you guys for the worst. So if you guys have any questions, if you guys want to learn more about the prospects at the top of this NBA draft, I do have videos on players like Jarris Walker, Taylor Hendricks, Ahmed Thompson. Let's talk worst case scenario because we have to be prepared for the worst. If the Detroit Pistons fall to number 5 in the draft, what happens? So top 3 picks in this draft, I think, are going to be Victor Wembanyama, Scoot Henderson, and Brandon Miller. Yeah, I think Ahmed Thompson is probably my consensus number 4 pick right now, but we could see some shockers. To me, if the Pistons fall to number 5, I'm looking at a guy like Jarris Walker. I do have a video on the channel talking about Jarris Walker. A lot of people describe him as a poor man's Isaiah Stewart. I just don't think that's the case at all. He's a much, much better shooter than Isaiah Stewart was. He's more athletic. He's got a bigger wingspan. He can be a better defender. He can guard the 5. I think Jarris Walker is going to be a much, much better player than Isaiah Stewart. So I think he would be my emergency pick at number 5. Now, is Jarris Walker going to be an all-star? I don't think so, but I do think he could be a solid starter in this league. A comparison I've made is Paul Millsap. Now, that's a little ambitious. I don't think he's going to be quite the player Paul Millsap ever was, but I think Jarris Walker could be a guy that averages you 12 to 15 points a game, 8 to 10 rebounds a game, is solid defensively, can play the small ball 5, can switch onto some wings and guard the perimeter, and I think he could be a solid enough three-point shooter to where he can maybe shoot, 38%, maybe get close to 40 at the height of his career. Is he a sexy pick? No. Is he an all-star? Probably not. Is Jarris Walker worth a 17-win season? No, he's not. But I think he can be an important piece to this Pistons core and really complement, what they already have pretty well, especially if he's able to shoot. A front court of Jarris Walker and Jalen Duren would be really, really good and really help the Pistons defensively. The other option you have if you fall to number 5 is trade back. Obviously, the Detroit Lions, they traded back to the 12th picks, drafting Jahmyr Gibbs. Maybe the Pistons could do something similar to this if they fall to number 5. Now, it's all going to depend on how the lottery falls, but if the Pistons wanted to trade back to, let's say, pick 7, pick 8, pick 9, pick 10, again, I'm looking at it as Taylor Hendricks. I do have a video on Taylor Hendricks on the channel. Very, very raw prospect. Not a good finisher around the rim. Needs to get a lot stronger, but he does have a three-point shot and has good length at the 4 position. Can play some small ball 5. Is going to have to get a lot better at finishing around the rim and just get a lot stronger, But I think Taylor Hendricks has some potential as a stretch 4 in this league. And again, is he going to be an all-star? No, but I do think he could be a good enough starter in this league and be a good complement to what the Pistons already have. Definitely next to Jalen Duren, a guy who could stretch the floor, and Taylor Hendricks. You have a guy like Cameron Whitmore. Now, I don't really know how I feel about him. I see him as a role player in the NBA for Whitmore. Three-point shooting is a little bit iffy, but he does have incredible athleticism. Is going to be a great finisher in transition. Does have the motor and speed to be a solid defender at the NBA level. Again, is he worth a pick for a 17-win season? No. Is he a top 5 pick? I wouldn't say so. But I do think Cam Whitmore could be a starter in this league. I do think he'd be a really, really good player off the bench that could give you some energy, give you a highlight play. He's a really good cutter to the rim. So I think Cam Whitmore would be a solid pick. Again, is he a starter on a championship team? Maybe one day. But he's a guy you could look at if the Pistons decide to trade back. That is kind of the worst case scenario for the Detroit Pistons. I guess the other thing they could do is if they really don't like anybody with the number 4 or number 5 pick, they could look to trade that pick to get a future pick in the 2024 draft or 2025 draft. But that is really, really going out there. Other guys I haven't mentioned, Ahmed Thompson, not really a big fan of him on this Pistons team. He's a guy that needs the ball in his hands, can't really shoot. So him playing off of Caden Ivey, I really don't think that's going to work too well. I would like to see Ahmed Thompson in a place where he's going to have the ball in his hands more to really be able to grow as a player. Amir Thompson, he could be a guy that could shoot, maybe provide some spacing for Caden Ivey. But, yeah, I don't know. I really want them to draft a wing. I understand you have to draft best available, but I do think there's a lot of wings in this draft, and even Jarris Walker, who's a big as well. But, yeah, obviously we don't want the Pistons to fall to number 5 in the draft. But if it does happen, we need to be prepared for the worst-case scenario. And so let me know what you guys want to do if the Pistons fall to number 5 in the draft. Do they make a pick? Do they trade back? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But NBA Draft Lottery should be really, really good. Should be really, really exciting. You're going to see my live reaction on the channel. Please subscribe if you haven't already. It means a lot to me. And I'm John from Pistons Territory. See you guys in the next one.